when I was in grade 8, Aiden Markram was my matric. So they paired me up with him. Being in an all-boys school, it's quite tough. So in team sports, you learn a lot about that. You learn to give back to your friends, and perform for them and enjoy each other's successes together. Whenever you have doubt, train harder, train longer, because you don't really know your game at a young age. So try identify and try figure that out as quick as possible, and then I'm pretty sure your guys will be successful. Yeah, so primary school I went to Donovan Primary until grade 4, and then I was fortunate enough to get a bursary to go to Cornwall College. That in primary school for me it was really important to play a lot of team sports, because in team sport I feel like you learn a lot about other players. You don't just focus on yourself, and life is way more than just sport. So in team sports you learn a lot about that. You learn to give back to your friends, and perform for them and enjoy each other's successes together. Then high school I went to Pretoria Boys High, and that's where, when I was in grade 8, Aiden Markram was my matric. So they paired me up with him. So it was quite nice just learning from him, watching him play, as a junior, as a grade 8, watching, the first team, you're always supporting and always seeing him dominate, in a boys' school as well. It's quite amazing. Being in an all-boys school, it's quite tough. But I feel like that just brought the best out of me, because if you were the best in a boys' school, I just felt that there's a lot of competition. So if you're the best over there, then you would fight through it. I think obviously a highlight for me is playing first team in grade 9. So that's at quite a young age, especially like I say in a boys' school. And yeah, trying to dominate the whole time, working hard. If I could do one thing differently, I would have trained harder at school. I think you take things for granted, especially if you are talented as well. So if I could go back, and change that, that would definitely be one thing. Train a bit harder, train a bit smarter. At that stage, I don't think you quite understand what smart training is, whereas now you can train shorter because you know what you want. But then, just doing a lot of volume, not leaving things out on the field. So, when you're batting, take every opportunity. Try and bat as long as possible, because that's where you learn. I took that for granted as a young player. Just trying to bash it around the ground. Trying to just take everyone on, because being the best in your team, you feel a bit like on top of the world, because at school you don't really care. You're in a boys' school, you're the best player in your team. I mean, what more can you ask for? But to actually try and dominate and perform in every single game, win games for your team, and that's where I lacked at school, and that's probably why my career wasn't fast track. That's why I had to wait a bit longer, because I took those things for granted. So yeah, for all the young kids out there, don't leave anything out there, don't leave anything behind. Whenever you have doubt, train harder, train longer, because you don't really know your game at a young age. So try identify and try figure that out as quick as possible, and then I'm pretty sure your guys will be successful.